It's time, fellas. Just click live. Welcome back to Hold the Phone YouTube. Drop a like, drop a comment of your Final Four, Sweet 16, underdogs of the first round. It is time, officially, to fill out the March Madness bracket. It feels like Christmas morning. Let me make sure that we're live here. I hope that we are. Don't know what's going on. Double checking here. We're live on the YouTube. Yes, we are. All right, we're live. Just waiting for a second. Can barely hear you. Hopefully we can change that. Fellas, this is the first time going live from the home studio. So just give me a second to get everything dialed here. And then once we're dialed, we'll be dialed. Studio. Let me go into here. Bang. I'm gonna upload this thumbnail real quick. Give me times, fellas. John, what's good? Kyle. The lab is open. Just give me a second. I'm gonna get the tweet out and everything. I'm just getting all this stuff dialed. Save. Alright. Alright, we're cooking. Had to get the thumbnail cooked, fellas. Hopefully that's working now. The Lobos screwed us on our four-leg future. Dude, I know. Lobos. I can't believe Wisconsin, the way they sold today. Fucking up 5 points, 6 points, 7 points, entire game. Unbelievable. Unbelievable way to sell out at the end of that ball game, fellas. But would you look at this? We have a bracket. Boys, since you're the first people in here, how does the audio sound? Do we sound good? Boise State. I know. They got fucking clapped, dude. They looked good against the Lobos. Colorado State. Colorado State, I'm pretty sure, is favored as a 12 seed. I can't wait to break down this entire bracket. God, we might be on here all night. We might be in here all night long. This is March. How does the audio sound? Do we sound good before we start spreading this to the masses? I hope it sounds good. How about this? Does that sound loud? Here we go. Hey, who? Here we go. Here we go. That should sound better. We sounding better now? Kyle, you're my resource right now, dude. There isn't a title on this. I need to go back into the details. College basketball March Madness filling out. You guys are really behind the scenes here, fellas. First live studio from home here on the Hold the Phone, filling out perfect bracket. This is going to be good. Audio is good. Hell yeah. We're one step at a time here, fellas. Breaking down region by region. Save. All right. I just put in a 17-leg future. Come on. All right, we're about to be dialed, dude. We're about to be dialed. What's your favorite 14 seed? I'm missing some stuff in the chat here. Dude, we're about to lock in every dog possible. We're about to lock in all the dogs. All right. We're about to be dialed. Tweet is out. All right. All right, fellas. It's time. March is in the air. Region by region, it feels like Christmas. We've watched about probably what? 1,000 hours of college basketball this season. That might be an understatement. And now we have a South region where the Auburn Tigers at the 1 seed are going to have a little bit of trouble here, losing their last 3 or 4 games. A lot of people, including myself, expected them to bounce back in the SEC tournament. Had a sketchy game versus Ole Miss. And now, I mean, here we go, fellas. Here we go. This is March. This is truly why we play the game. Gonna go live on the TikTok. Bada bing, bada boom. March is here. March Madness. It's time to fill out the perfect bracket. Comment in the comments below in the chat. Favorite underdogs. We're gonna go game by game. Each game we're gonna start in the South region. What's the strongest region? We're gonna break down everything. We're gonna break down everything. You're live. Here we go. Here we go. The hell is this? I'm doing something here. Gaming. Live. Go live. Here we go. We're now live on the TikTok. Michigan State to the chip. Got a TikTok in order to talk. Gavin, boys. McNeese beating Clemson. There's something in the air with McNeese right now. Glad Michigan proved you wrong today, dude. Absolutely brutal. Brutal. I'd been bought in on Michigan. Michigan was dead all the way down the stretch, and now they're buzzing. And now the boys are currently buzzing. But let's start in this South region. Let's start in this South region. If you're here in the TikTok, drop a like. If you're here in the YouTube, hold the phone YouTube. Fellas, I think we're good to rock and roll. I know we just had to get all the ducks in the row, but it's time. It is officially time. All right, time to dial. Auburn, game number 1. They're going against the winner. Most likely, if you were to put a gun to my head, might be St. Francis. Don't mind St. Francis on their glory run right now. Doesn't make a dent. Give us Auburn game number 1. Game number 2, this game is being played in the home state of Louisville. I mean, this would be, I believe, the first time in 20 years where a 1 seed would have to play an 8 or 9 seed in the second round at their home state. This one's tough. Creighton, the Blue Jays, McDermott, they're coming off losing in the Big East. Fellas, Louisville or Creighton? Louisville or Creighton here? Is it Louisville or is it Creighton? You can smoke a cigar in the rain with that nose. Hell yeah. Kansas is going to Sweet 16, aren't they, Gav? Dude, there's no way I can continue to back Hunter Dickinson, who's going to be filling out taxes by this time next season, and Bill Self, who just continue to fold down the stretch of the season. I like Akron to get running on Arizona. Dude, I love that. All right, let's just continue on down the line. Trent said, are you going to Vegas? Yes, dude. Thursday. Fly in Wednesday night. Fellas, let's rock. Let's rock with, right now, God, dude, Louisville's at home. It's a home game for Louisville, but Creighton's coming off the Big East. I'm just going to skip that game. Michigan, UC San Diego. Again, another brutal one. Number one covered team in all of college basketball. Michigan and San Diego, UC San Diego. Dude, the Aztecs, I feel like, are one of the best goddamn teams in college basketball right now. They're something like 25-4. 25-4 against the spread. That's unbelievable. Montana over Wisconsin. Creighton plus the points. Dude, and then we have Texas A&M, Yale. I love every underdog. We're putting in $100 on every dog. I like every underdog. I like every under. Dude, West Virginia was snubbed. 6 quad 1 wins. And then meanwhile, you got a playing game with UNC with 1 quad 1 win. Fellas, let's get the TikTok chat to 1,000 likes. Dude, this bracket's tough. We're going to have to fight tooth and nail here. I like Lipscomb over Iowa State, but I don't know if I can get there. All right, I know I like New Mexico. I'm just going to go through the games that I like the most first in the East region. So Auburn, sure. These 3 games are an absolute shit show. Louisville and Creighton. You got Michigan, who just won the Big Ten. It's hard to see Vlad Golden and Danny Wolf being taken down in the first round. I mean, we saw Danny Wolf on Yale last year take down the Auburn Tigers game number 1. Trey Donaldson is rounding into form right now for Michigan. You got the 2-man of a lifetime with Golden and Wolf. Dude, I don't know. I do think the winner of San Diego State and UNC has a great shot against the Red Rebels, but then again, it's hard to fade an SEC ball club. These teams have been at war. Let's see what else we have. Trying to keep track of both chats. Why aren't we in the studio? Dude, because this is a late night lab. This is a late night lab session here. Who knows ball in the chat? Big West is a lot better than McNeese Conference. North Carolina or San Diego. Dude, this East region is already off to just... my mind is in a pretzel. We're in a blender. We'll roll with Izzo to get that Richard Pitino versus Tom Izzo second round matchup. That's going to be glorious. Obviously, Donovan Dent, absolute dog, Mountain West Player of the Year, going against Michigan State. Jace Richardson, Mr. Akins, they got experience, they got young guns, and Tom Izzo is willing to die to make a run in this tournament. I like Michigan State and New Mexico as a second round matchup. Now, are the Aztecs of San Diego State or the Tar Heels going to make it past round number 1 against Ole Miss? Dude, I truly do not know. Meanwhile, Ole Miss, dude, Padula, the transfer, he's a fucking dog. Creighton over Louisville. It's hard to see Louisville after losing the ACC championship game, then losing at home in a home crowd down in Lexington. I just don't know, dude. I don't know. Big West teams are never good in the tournament. High Point take down the Boilermakers. That's probably my favorite goddamn upset of the first round. Louisville, easy pick. Texas Tech, why not us? Oh, dude, this is why we play the game, though. This is why we play the game. We're going to be looking at this bracket for the next 72 hours. Just in an absolute pretzel. A mind blender. I don't think Yale goes back-to-back years with an upset. Now, remember, we're putting $100 on every underdog in the first round. I don't know if Yale goes back-to-back years with an upset, so I'll roll Texas A&M. And I'll have Texas A&M actually. It's also hard to think Dusty May is going to lose in the first round of to UC San Diego. UC San Diego 25-9 against the spread this season, something crazy. This might be a pretty public upset, but I might love UC San Diego here coming off a Michigan team who just won the Big Ten tournament. I would have liked Michigan a little bit more here if they would have dropped today to Wisconsin. I also like this Creighton team going against Louisville. I might roll with Creighton and McDermott. I might roll with Creighton. Coach McDermott, Kalkbrenner to have a massive game. Love Wisconsin. Stop gambling. I mean, if you're not filling out a March Madness bracket, I don't know if you just simply don't like to have fun. This isn't gambling. This is for the love of the game here. Troy, Kentucky, love that. How far do you have Iowa State going? I would like to see Lipscomb take down Iowa State, but Iowa State will probably be healthy once this game comes around. We'll roll with Iowa State. We'll roll with the winner. Dude, it's tough to see Padula and this Ole Miss team losing to either San Diego or UNC. This is brutal. This is a brutal bracket, dude. Maybe UC San Diego over Michigan. Texas A&M and Auburn. An SEC matchup in the Sweet 16. And give me Michigan State to then be facing the winner of Iowa State. And I'll say there's a coin flip. I'll say Ole Miss. Even though I'm not going to be pulling for Ole Miss. Creighton over Auburn. I love that in the TikTok chat. Who said that? Everyone listen up. It's time for the dogs to be barking. Cinderella's favorite animal is a goddamn dog. All right? It's Selection Sunday. It is 10:40 on the East Coast. Feels like Christmas morning. We have matchups and brackets and Cinderellas from sea to shining sea. This is why we play the game, fellas. In a month from now, we're going to be looking at the diamond and hoping for a simple 6 outs. But for right now, we continue on in the South region. I think that looks good. I like Iowa State to make it to the Sweet 16. I don't know if I have it right. I'm going to be pulling for Lipscomb. I'm going to be pulling for SDU and the winner of SDSU and UNC to beat Ole Miss. Fuck it. Dude, I don't know. I like Padula, dude. I like Padula and the Red Rebels. They're gritty. They battle. They fight. They've been in a dogfight in this SEC gauntlet for the last month and a half, and now they get to lick their chops against either a UNC team who has one quad win on the year or an SDSU team. I like Ole Miss's chances there, even though, like I said, we are rolling with every underdog of the first round. Michigan, I'm trying to keep track with both. Josh said things have been too chalk in the conference tournaments. Dogs are due to be barking. Dude, I couldn't agree more. Also, last year, the 2024 tournament, no 1 seed got upset, no 2 seed got upset. First time all 4 2 seeds won last tournament since 2019 in the first round. But this is why we play the game, fellas. This is why we play the game. We're going to continue on in this South bracket. Like I said, Auburn has lost the last 3 or 4 games. You know, people were expecting them to bounce back in the SEC tournament. Now it's been a little bit more sketchy. It's funny how we were talking about a few weeks ago if you would take Auburn and Duke or the field. Which one would you rather be in a corner of? Auburn and Duke or the field? Now at this point, I don't even think that's a question. I don't even think that's even a conversation. I'll roll with the field 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10. A lot of question marks out of Auburn and now Duke. Obviously, Flag's going to be good to go for the tournament, but injury, they just won the ACC championship. Are they just going to continue to steamroll through March? Is it a collision course? There's a couple teams who seem to be on a collision course right now, and I think that's the Florida Gators. I think that's the Johnnies, St. John's and Rick Pitino. And Duke looks pretty good even without Cooper Flagg, so they're definitely a problem. I like Michigan State and Tom Izzo to make it to the Elite 8. And I like that matchup of Auburn and Izzo. Bruce Pearl, Tom Izzo. Fellas, what do you think? How do we feel about that? Also, I appreciate each and every single one of you in the YouTube and on the TikTok. We're live on YouTube. Hold the phone. Hold the phone, YouTube. Right here. I'll pull it up. Hold the phone, YouTube. Hold the phone. Here's the YouTube channel, boys. So go drop a sub over there if you're over on the TikTok. Hold the phone YouTube. Let's continue on down the bracket. Fellas, how do we feel about this East region? I'm a Sparty, but Auburn ain't no joke. No upsets, unrealistic. You usually have to, we stare at the bracket for 72 hours. Upsets usually come in your sleep. You start to feel the underdogs. You start to feel the Cinderella stories in your plums. This right now is just raw reaction and raw emotion based off of what we saw this past championship week and what we have seen for the past 3.5 months. Jacob, appreciate the follow, dude. All of March. We're continuing to bunker down all of March. All of March madness. Give me Izzo out of this region. Fellas, Tom Izzo hasn't gone more than 4 seasons without making it to the Final Four with Michigan State. Tom Izzo, 8 Final Four appearances. The last time he made it was, I believe, 4 seasons ago. There was no tournament with the COVID year. So this is technically, if the stars align, if mathematics come true in a bracket full of Cinderellas and just madness, I think Tom Izzo might be due to make it to the Final Four, but that really pains me because 2 weeks ago I was on top of the world truly believing in that Auburn was going to win the national championship. Noku, appreciate the rose, dude. J-Man, appreciate the rose. Fellas, how we doing over in the YouTube? We sleep in May. I still can't believe Wisconsin generational sell job today against Michigan. Wisconsin had that game in the bag, had control of that game from start to finish. Can't make a basket in the final 5 minutes. 5 minutes of the ball game. Wisconsin can't find the bottom of the bucket. Tonji 1 for 14, the best player on the Badgers. That wasn't expected. UNC Final Four run, Zeke says, that guy is out of his mind. Dustin over on the Hold the Phone YouTube just donated and said $250 on all the underdogs. Let's go. Talk about putting the sack on the table. Holy hell. Holy hell. Dude, I want to click Michigan State. We'll come back to it. Let's go down to the West. The Florida Gators, dude. It's starting to smell like there's just dominance, a collision course. 3 of the best guards in the country on one ball club. A 6-man who can dominate. The Florida Gators. Walter Clayton Jr. They are dangerous. And I hate this. Whoever comes out of the left side of this bracket, this Final Four on the left side of the bracket, that matchup to go to the national championship is going to be a Final Four game like we've never seen before. Michigan State hasn't been sketchy all year. He must be talking to someone else in the chat because I am a full believer in Tom Izzo, that is for sure. Give me UConn over Oklahoma. I like this bracket a lot. Give me Colorado State over Memphis. Give me Grand Canyon over the Maryland Terps. They upset St. Mary's last year. Grand Canyon is a buzzsaw. Watch out for Grand Canyon. Maryland, a lot of people have been buying into Maryland late in the Big Ten season, rolling into the Big Ten Conference tournament. Mr. Rice is a dog. Obviously, contract talks with Maryland's head coach. Maryland has been buzzing as of late, but I like Grand Canyon. I like Grand Canyon in this matchup. Then I also like Drake. To take down Missouri. I could see UNC Wilmington taking down Texas Tech. However, I don't think coming off losing a game in the Big 12 championship, or not the Big 12 championship, the Big 12 semifinal to Arizona, I think Texas Tech bounces back. Dude, the TikTok is buzzing right now. Tech ain't losing. Chris, I agree. Tech isn't losing. Bryant. Palmer, appreciate the follow, brother. Fellas, go sub to the Hold the Phone YouTube. We're going live from Vegas on Thursday morning before the tournament starts to give all the locks on the spread. We're putting $100 on every underdog, so stay tuned to the content. Drake is too slow, says Reese. Tech Florida Elite 8 would feed families. Yeah, I like a 14 seed that we haven't gotten to yet, but I don't think it's this 14 seed. Give me the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Then, Bill Self versus John Calipari. Bracketology. They're in their bag for this one. Kansas, Hunter Dickinson, I'm out on. I'm done with Kansas. I can't back Kansas. I'm not going to back Kansas. They have the tools, but for some reason, this team cannot get over the hump. They can't get over the hump. I'm done trying to back Kansas, get behind Kansas. I'm not sure who's an underdog in this game. I'm truly not sure who's an underdog in this game. I'm going to pull up the spread right now. What's this spread on Arkansas, Kansas? They'll beat Kansas, says Adam. I mean, KJ Adams, Harris, Dickinson. Ryder said Arkansas's free. Swimming pool, appreciate the follow, brother. Drake upsets Mizzou, love that. Dude, I think it's the Hogs. Gavin, I've been on UConn since Hurley. I had them the last 2 years and then start again. I can't fade it again. I'll never bet against Hurley. I don't think they win, but they will fight. I agree. Their second round matchup for the Huskies is going to be a dogfight. Kansas does nothing but take my money. I couldn't agree more, Mitchell. What are your thoughts on Clemson? Sketchy first round game. McNeese is once again, like last tournament, going to be one of the most public dogs of the first round. All right, let me find this. We're on Kansas, Arkansas. Everyone in the chat, drop who you think is going to take home this game. Is it going to be Mr. Brazil and John Calipari, or is it going to be Hunter Dickinson and Bill Self? Because as of late, Kansas has done nothing but bend me over a goddamn barrel. Kansas, Arkansas, Kansas, Arkansas. Dude, I wish I could drop a poll because, my God, these are too hard to follow. Arkansas, Crosby said Arkansas, John, Ryder, Leo, KP, Heem, Andreas, Tyler, Kansas, Arkansas. Looks pretty split. This looks pretty split. Getting a lot of Kansases and a lot of Arkansas. Look, fellas, I think we have to roll with the SEC here. SEC over Big 12 any day of the week, especially when we're talking about this Kansas team who's been nothing but disappointing all season long. Fuck Kansas. Give us the Hogs. We're going to keep cranking the Hog. Give us John Calipari and Rick Pitino in the second round to feed families. Love that. SEC overrated, said Chris? Come on, dude. If the SEC is overrated, I don't know which conference is good. Do we have a dog? I'm pulling up the spread for this Kansas-Arkansas game because I'm very interested. Arkansas is a 4.5 point dog. Give me Arkansas. Hurley versus Florida, dude. The buzzsaw of last year. Dude, this bracket is pretty special now, breaking down these matchups. We got the buzzsaw, the Florida Gators, a collision course that seems to at least be an Elite 8 run, going against UConn. Mr. Caravan, Diarra, Solo Ball, Mr. McNeely, going against three of the best guards in the country on the Florida Gators, led by Mr. Walter Clayton Jr. Boys, we need a 15 seed to win this year. It's not going to be St. John's losing, that's for sure. And it's not going to be Tom Izzo losing. The 15 seed is going to be on the right side of the bracket. I'll tell you that much. A 15 seed did not win last year, first time since 2019. A 15 seed is going to come home. New Mexico Championship. I mean, they couldn't even make it out of the Mountain West. I know Richard Pitino, Mountain West Coach of the Year, and Mr. Dent, Mountain West Player of the Year. I don't think they got the reins. Fellas, let's continue on down. I'm going to roll Florida here. But it is really tough. It's really tough. I think this is going to be a battle. This is going to be the deepest we'll ever see Coach Hurley in his bag. I can't wait to just throw underdogs in a parlay. I can't wait for a 4-legger of the first round, a 6-legger of the first round. We have 32 matchups to play around with. We're going to get to the bets at the end of the stream after we're done with this first. But these are just the first raw reactions. These are subject to change, but let's continue on down the line. Colorado State versus Grand Canyon. This game would hit like crack in the second round, day 2. This would be one flying high team versus another, one wagon versus another. Creighton Dunk is like Michigan. Boys, come drop chats on the YouTube. Hold the Phone YouTube. Come join the live over on the Hold the Phone YouTube if you're over on the TikTok looking at that chat as well. And come drop a sub over on the Hold the Phone YouTube. We're going to be doing a live show Thursday morning from Vegas and Friday morning from Vegas. Give me Colorado State. Give me Colorado State. And I say Colorado State only because I like Colorado State's chances more in the first round to take down Memphis than I do the chances of Grand Canyon winning in the first round against Maryland. So, with that being said, I would rather not having Grand Canyon into the Sweet 16 rather than Colorado State, because obviously the Terps, they're a well-coached team. They have very solid guard play. It will take a lot for Grand Canyon to take them down. I do like that matchup in the first round for Grand Canyon. We saw Grand Canyon upset first round 1 game last year in a 12 versus 5 versus St. Mary's. So, but I do like Colorado State to take down Memphis. So give me Colorado State and then Colorado State to the Sweet 16 for now. I could change that to Grand Canyon just because Tyrese Hunter does scare me coming back from Memphis. Wofford upset. Michigan State, St. John's, Bama, Houston, Final Four, says Jake. Boys, this is the witching hour here. This is where boys become men. Dude, we're almost at 10,000 likes in the TikTok live. We're going to continue to go live every day here on the TikTok during March Madness. So definitely be sure to drop a follow. Be sure to drop a follow, fellas, on the TikTok and on the Hold the Phone YouTube. Going to be doing a lot of breakdowns. Give us Texas Tech over Drake and give us St. John's Texas Tech. Someone might die in this Red Raiders versus Red Storm game. I think that is a very solid prediction with Texas Tech and St. John's. I hate that has to be a matchup. That is going to be an absolute all-out war. It would be a dream come true if UNC Wilmington were to be able to take down Texas Tech. I just don't see it. I just don't see it happening, unfortunately. I mean, Florida seems, if they can get out of UConn, which is, UConn's not the UConn of the last 2 years. If Florida just rolls by UConn, they have a pretty easy path to the Elite Eight. Florida has a very... I think I might go Grand Canyon. I don't know, dude. I don't know. Terps are good. The Terps are good. Just give me Florida. Give me Florida there. Colorado State to beat Grand Canyon. Give me... we're riding St. John's till the goddamn wheels fall off. We have a plus 3,500 future on St. John's to win the national championship. Plus 4,500, I think. St. John's national champ, or it might be even $5,000. We took St. John's at plus 5,000 2 months ago to win a month and a half ago to win the national championship. Texas Tech isn't winning this ball game. Give us the Johnnies. Florida versus St. John's. I hate that St. John's isn't in Houston's bracket or Duke's. I would have loved St. John's to be fed Duke to make it to the Final Four. if that were to be a matchup, if Duke were to make it to the Elite Eight and not dropped off before then. This is tough, boys. Who is making it to the Final Four out of the West? I'm very confident that it's going to be St. John's, but it has to be in Pitino we trust. It has to be. It's not, is it in Pitino we trust? It has to be in Pitino we trust. St. John's is giving me the feeling and the same taste of UConn as of last year and the year before, where it is just all wheels ahead. No brakes. The horses don't stop. They keep going. I don't know how a guard can guard Kadari Richmond at how big he is. R.J. Lewis, the Big East Player of the Year. Then you got Rick Pitino in his bag. I don't know who just dropped that Super GG. Bo 2K3 in his absolute bag. It's going to have to be in Pitino we trust. It has to be. I'm riding St. John's with a plus 5,000 future, fellas. Riding St. John's with a plus 5,000 future. I mean, this West, so Florida, UConn, Colorado State, Grand Canyon, Drake, Texas Tech, Arkansas, St. John's. Now, is it subject to change if I end up taking Maryland or taking Missouri? I feel like Drake every year is a very public underdog in the first round, and they never win in the first round. So I might be subject to change Mizzou, and then possibly Mizzou versus Texas Tech. Mizzou could give Texas Tech some fits. It is a pretty easy ride to the Elite Eight for Florida. It is a pretty easy ride to the Elite Eight for Florida. But we're going to roll with St. John's. That's our first Final Four. I think. I'm a little scared, though. I'm a little scared, but I'm not at all. Because Rick Pitino has a bag like none other. Down 15 to win by 15 in the Big East semifinal versus Marquette. And then they're just in an all-out war against the Creighton Blue Jays. Give us St. John's. Final Four St. John's. Final Four with a plus 5,000 in the back pocket. All right, let's move on to the East, fellas. Let's move on to the East. This is electric. This is like Christmas morning. Fellas, does it get much better than this? Being able to gather around a March Madness bracket, stare at it for the next 72 hours, and fill out as many as you can. Different narratives, different storylines, kids' names that we don't even know of or ever heard of, who are going to be 9 to 5 legends forever. No-name college kids becoming heroes. Who is it going to be by this time next week? We will be having Cinderella's Dancing in March. Today is the one day of the year, Selection Sunday. It goes Christmas, Selection Sunday, and we're opening up these matchups like presents. St. John's just seems a little bit more evil. Clemson to the Final Four. Come on, dude. We're doing a live show on Hold the Phone YouTube Thursday morning inside of Vegas, from Vegas. But we continue on down the line. And fellas, if you're just joining in, we're taking $100 on every underdog in the first round. We won money last year. We're doing it again this year. All right, to the East region. We go with the ACC champions first. Playing the winner of American and Mount St. Mary's. American slapped Navy in their conference tournament championship in the Patriot League, going against Mount St. Mary's, an underdog Cinderella story. We'll roll with Duke. If there was a 16 seed to win in the first round, I honestly don't know if we see one. Norfolk State, SIUE, and then St. Francis or Mount St. Mary's. I don't think a 1 seed gets upset, unfortunately, this year. I mean, it's only happened twice in the history of the game. Matchup number 2, fellas. Who do you think, Mississippi State or Baylor? Mississippi State or Baylor? Comment, Mississippi State or Baylor. This is one of those coin flips similar to Kansas, Arkansas. Similar to Louisville, Creighton. First game of the tournament is Louisville, Creighton. That game's going to hit like crack. It's in the home state of Louisville, but can the Creighton Blue Jays, who just dropped the Big East Tournament Championship to St. John's, prevail? How is it an 8 and 9 seed, the losers of their conference championships? That is incredible. Big East second place in the tournament, runner-up Creighton, and ACC runner-up Louisville as an 8 seed. Unbelievable. I'm seeing a lot of Baylors. Who the fuck is Baylor beat, says Shannon. I earlier said I would take the SEC over the Big East just because, or over the Big 12, just because it's a tougher gauntlet. It's a tougher gauntlet. These SEC teams have been battling tooth and nail in rock fights all season long for the last 2 months. And then you got Baylor, I feel like has been crawling around the middle of the pack of the Big 12. I feel like you gotta roll SEC. I feel like it's a breath of fresh air for an SEC team to be able to play a team like either Kansas, like the Hogs do, of Arkansas, or Mississippi State going against Baylor. So I'm going to roll with Mississippi State. It's going to be a tough one, though. It's going to be a battle, for sure. It's going to be a battle. Oregon versus Liberty. Oregon's a very frisky, solid ball club. Very well coached. I love a good old 12 versus 5 matchup. The most public underdog. Also, a 5 seed is cursed. A 5 seed has never won the national championship. Seeds 1 through 8 have all won national championships. A 1 seed, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. A 5 seed has never won the national championship. I think Oregon is a winner here. Even though I like it, we're taking $100 on every underdog in the first round. I don't know if Oregon drops this. They're too well coached. They're very well coached. So give me Oregon. And then Arizona. Dude, I think Arizona could get dropped off by Akron. I think the boys of Akron are very sketchy. A very fluke shit in the air. Grit. Nothing but grit coming out of Akron. I like Akron, dude. Arizona at times can struggle on the defensive side of the basketball. And Akron has a lot of bruisers who love to fill the stat sheets. I think they could out-hustle Arizona. God forbid Caleb Love comes out and puts up a goose egg. Similar to Tonji today. Mr. Tonji for Wisconsin comes out, goes 1 for 14. If Caleb Love comes out and he's not hot, Akron could easily win this ball game as a 13 seed. I like Akron. Are you kidding yourself? No. And you know what's the beauty of March Madness? Anything I say right now talking about this bracket is not a wrong answer. There is no right and wrong answers. So if you think anything about this bracket, if you feel safe or is a lock or you're comfortable with, you have to take a long look in the mirror, because there is no right or wrong answers when it comes to this bracket in the first round. With that being said, give us Akron over Arizona. No way Akron has a chance. I love that. That makes me more positive that the Zips could maybe get the job done against Arizona. Is it a lock? No. But that's the beauty of March, fellas. That's the beauty of the bracket, and that's the beauty of a Cinderella team, the no-name kids that they'll be talking about on billboards around the country on ESPN next week. So let's continue on down the line to Mormon miracles. The Mormons in March. The Mormons dancing. Mormons in March. I love this Mormon team. Anytime they need a big three, they get one. They finally found themselves in a letdown spot after winning, I think, 10 games in a row. 10 straight ball games in the Big 12. Not too easy to do. I love BYU. Love BYU. I have a prediction that I'll say right now. BYU could be making it to the Final Four out of the East. BYU miracles, BYU Mormon miracles, BYU dancing in March. If you have not watched this team over the past month, you won't understand what I am saying. BYU, there is something in the water. There is something magical happening. They ran into a team. They came out flat against the Houston Cougs in the Big 12 tournament. That's okay. We'll bounce back. I don't love being on the side of the bed of a team that is coming off winning their conference tournament championship unless they are a full buzzsaw. Similar to UConn last year. Similar, I feel the same way about Florida, and I feel the same way about St. John's. Those two ball clubs, they feel like they're the two most dominant teams who are on a collision course entering the tournament. You can also say Duke in that category. Those are the three. You can add Duke, but can Duke get dropped off because they're an ACC team playing against ACC talent for the last month and a half? I can definitely get behind that. Where it's Big East, those are some tough ball games. Those are some tough ball clubs. Those are always dog fights. And I also feel confidence in St. John's making a run based off the fact that UConn came out of the Big East the last 2 years, and when they felt like a buzzsaw, I'm getting the same feeling from Rick Pitino and St. John's as we did with Coach Hurley and UConn last year. So, entering the tournament, the teams I feel most confident about making runs is the Florida Gators, based off their track record as of late in the SEC, and St. John's. Love Pitino. In Pitino we trust. With that being said, let's continue on in the East. Done with a little rant. Give us BYU. Give us BYU, because they are up the alley of a buzzsaw, and I'm honestly glad that they got dropped off in the fashion that they did in the Big 12. VCU fits the bill. VCU is flat out nasty, says Mitchell. You don't like Louisville versus Creighton with a huge crowd advantage. I know. That's subject to change. That one is a coin flip. I feel like it's tough because Creighton just lost the Big East tournament championship game, so I feel like they're looking to bounce back. Then you can say for the ACC, Louisville just lost to a Cooper flagless Duke team in the ACC championship. I do think the experience of Creighton, however, could go in to the state of Louisville with a home court advantage. I think a lot of people are going to be backing the Cardinals because of it. I think a lot of people are going to be on the Louisville bandwagon because the narrative of, hey, it's in Louisville, it's in Lexington, or it's not Lexington, fucking wherever the game's being played. I know it's in the home state of the Cardinals. And I feel like when everyone is usually on a side in the first round, that's usually the opposite happens, especially with these 8-9 games. Every 8-9 games a coin flip, and whatever the crowd thinks is going to happen. So if a lot of people are buying in on Baylor versus Mississippi State, most likely it's going to be Mississippi State to make it out of it. With the narrative, there's a large narrative behind Louisville. I feel like for that reason, a lot of people are going to be backing Louisville. For right now, I'll put Creighton. I love Kalkbrenner in that matchup. Ashworth is a dog, and they're well coached. And let's not forget, this is a very successful season already for Louisville in their first year with their head coach. So let's continue on to the East region. Keep getting distracted. Fellas, this is my upset. This is my 14 seed. This is our 14 seed. It's Montana. I watched a lot of the Big Sky late night tournament games. I watched a lot of Big Sky ball this season. Montana doesn't play any games. If there's a 14 seed in this entire bracket, I mean, Troy could definitely get the job done versus Kentucky, but we will get there. I don't see Texas Tech getting dropped off to UNCW. I think they're too strong, and I think Iowa State is going to find some magic here with guys coming back off of injury. And I think that task might be too tall for Lipscomb. So I think this is a 14 seed that has an opportunity to beat Wisconsin. And you said you don't know ball, brother. Brother, if you think there's a wrong answer when filling out this goddamn bracket, you don't know ball. If you don't think there's an upset in the possibility in the air for Montana to take down Wisconsin, I'll gladly take upsets when it comes to teams out of the Big Ten, out of the ACC, not so much out of the SEC or in the Big 12. So in the Big Ten, sure, I think it's possible. I mean, one of the 1 seeds of all time to be dropped off was Purdue, who was the big bad witch coming out of the Big Ten. I can never trust or get behind Big Ten teams in the tournament, or most of the time ACC teams, because the competition isn't there all season. So one of these teams who comes out hungry, who is sketchy, like a Big Sky Conference tournament winner, like Montana, I could see getting the job done. Let's continue on down the line. I feel like this is a horrible draw for St. Mary's going against Vandy. Horrible draw going against St. Mary's with Vandy. Fellas, if you're in the TikTok, come over to the Hold the Phone YouTube. Drop a sub. We're going a live show. We're doing a live show Thursday morning, Friday morning in Vegas. We're giving all the locks, every spread, every game. But we're getting back to the bracket. We're also live on Hold the Phone YouTube. Go drop a sub. Come over to the YouTube channel. Now this is a brutal matchup and draw for St. Mary's going against an SEC team. Vanderbilt has dogs. They win a lot of close games out the stretch. I know St. Mary's likes to slow down the pace. Vandy likes a little bit more of a faster pace. Vanderbilt has been battling in a gauntlet of the SEC all season long. I hate to do it. I feel like it might be Vandy just based on the fact that they might be more athletic. They might just be a little bit more gritty. I don't know if I can trust this St. Mary's team. St. Mary's got dropped off last year against Grand Canyon. Now you're going against an SEC team. This is a nightmare 10 seed for the regular season WCC champs in St. Mary's. Drop a comment right now in the chat. Is it St. Mary's or Vanderbilt who you're filling out on your bracket? St. Mary's or Vanderbilt? Vandy. Wow, dude. Over on the TikTok, it is nothing but Vandy, dude. That makes me worried a little bit about Vandy. I know I'm going on in a whole SEC rant and chant, but I'm seeing a lot. Yale upsetting A&M. Could Yale go back-to-back tournaments with an upset? That could be special. That could definitely be special. This is the beauty of the bracket. This is the beauty of the bracket here, boys. This is why we play the game. This is why we play the game right here. Vandy or St. Mary's. A St. Mary's team built on discipline and slowing down a basketball game. What if, hear this narrative, that their play style is so unique and so just, it is honestly just throws off Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt is so used to not playing a team like this. What if it just throws off the chemistry and cadence of Vandy? Right now we'll put Vandy. Because I'm going on rants about SEC. And this is not be mistaken. We're putting $100 on all 32 underdogs for the first round of March Madness on the money line. So every underdog you see will be taking $100. Last year we did it in Vegas. We walked out up money out of the first round. And anytime you can walk out of the first round up money, sounds like it's impossible. So I feel like that's the only way for us that we enjoy betting the first round. 32 teams, 32 underdogs. You sit back, you worry about nothing else but the unsung heroes of the first round, the Cinderellas and the dogs to be barking louder than ever, coming off conference tournaments games that went all chalk. Nothing but chalk, 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 chalk. Houston out of the Big 12, Florida getting the job done in the SEC. Obviously, Auburn was the 1 seed, but they've had their struggles as of late. Duke winning the ACC. St. John's winning the Big East. Obviously, the Big Ten gets taken down by Michigan, which shocked a lot of people, including myself, because we had bought into Michigan. We took Michigan to make it to the Final Four about a month and a half ago, and that seemed dead down the stretch. And now Dusty May comes around tournament time, and now they're buzzing. All right, let's continue on down the line. I would love to see Robert Morris beat Alabama. Robert Morris. Robert fucking Morris. Mark Sears comes out, little flat. We got the first 15 seed to beat a 2 seed. No 2 seeds lost last year. We're statistically due. We're statistically due for a 15 seed to beat a 2 seed. It's not going to be Izzo. It's not going to be St. John's. It could be Wofford. Wofford could beat Tennessee. Are you high? Dude. Dude. Give me Robert Morris. Give me Robert Morris. For the people in the back, give me Robert Morris because there is a chance. There's a small chance that this could happen. The East region is going to be completely fucked. Remember when I tell you this. When you look at your bracket this time next week and your South region has a lot of green in it and your West region has a lot of green in it and we'll get to the Midwest region and then you look at your East. Remember the East? When it's all red and it's absolutely rat fucked, don't tell you I didn't warn you. Bama hates to play defense. Mark Sears and Phylon, they go back and forth whoever wants to show up to a basketball game. They made their run last year. We could see Robert Morris. You're telling me there's a chance. That's all we need is that there's a chance. I think Wofford has a chance. Boys, last year, like I said, no 2 seeds lost. That was the first time since 2019. Obviously, there was the COVID year. But 2023, 2 seed dropped off. 2022, 2 seed dropped off. 2020, 2 seed dropped off. 2019, 2 seed dropped off. Or 2019 was the last time, so 2019 I lied. Wasn't no 2 seeds. Let's continue on in the East region. Give me Robert Morris over Alabama. And then we're going to continue on. Give me Duke over Mississippi State. Give me Oregon, a well-coached Oregon team versus Akron. Give me BYU over Montana. God, dude, I might switch to St. Mary's, but I don't know. Bet $20 on each dog round 1 and profit. Come on, Trey, dude. That's what we're doing. $100 just in round 1, 32 dogs, 32 money lines. Boys, I have chills from head to toe. I'm over here shaking, looking at this goddamn bracket, talking to each and every single one of you goddamn bastards on the other side of this screen. I hope you have your bracket out. I hope you got the pen and paper. I hope you're staring at this bracket for the next 72 hours. How are we supposed to work tomorrow go to, or whether if you're in college or high school or going to a 9 to 5 or doing whatever you need to do on the other side of this screen tomorrow or Tuesday or Wednesday, because when these games tip off Thursday, it is one of the most beautiful things I think in all of sports, all in mankind. This is March. Right here, right now, as we continue on in the East bracket. Give me Vandy to make it to the Sweet 16. I think the winner, I don't know, dude. I kind of like the matchup now for Bama versus BYU. I kind of like that. I'm actually going to switch up. I'm switching my 15 seed. There is a chance Robert Morris can win. But I like this matchup too much. For us not to be given this matchup in the Sweet 16. I'm predicting this matchup. I'm switching up. I like the thought of Robert Morris. A 2 seed needs to lose. It could be Robert Morris, but for the sake of this bracket, I will click in Alabama because I believe a little bit more in the college basketball gods that we get BYU versus Bama. And then we'll be shooting underhand free throws with Wofford and have them as our 2 seed in our bracket to drop off Tennessee. There has to be a 2 seed that wins this year. We're statistically due. 4 2 seeds in a row have won. We need a 2 seed to get dropped off. BYU first rounded by VCU? Come on, dude. Like I said, there's no right or wrong answers here. So I'm not going to say that you're wrong. But I'm just going to disagree with you. I'm not going to say you're wrong, but I'm just going to simply disagree. Because BYU I've watched too much of. And there's Mormon miracles. And there's something in the water out there in Mormon country. And don't tell me I didn't warn you. Because I'm going to have BYU take down Alabama. And then Oregon's going to have a fantastic shot of taking down Duke the way this team is coached. Oregon has a legit shot of taking down Duke. I'm telling you right now, this Oregon team is not to be slept on. But we're going to have a Blue Devil versus a Mormon to make it to the Final Four. We're going to have a Blue Devil versus a Mormon to make it to the Final Four. And then all hell's going to break loose. I love this East region. What I'm looking at right now, I love what I'm looking at. Fellas, you like right here, Bama faces an SEC rival versus Vandy. They get taken down. These matchups right here. Live studio within. Sorry, I just got a notification. Sorry, hold on, fellas. I'm doing something on the back end. All right, we're good. Hear me out, fellas. This East region, I am a firm believer this is what the Elite Eight will look like. Duke versus Oregon and Bama versus BYU. I'm a firm believer. I don't know about all these first-round matchups. I like Akron to take down Arizona. I like Montana. I think there's a chance to take down Wisconsin. We need dogs to be barking. We need a raw dog this tournament. We need to take the dogs out of the leash and open up the floodgates with these dogs. Because it only can take so long for the dog to be barking over at the neighbor's house until someone comes out with a gun. And we need dogs to be barking like we've never seen before. A lot of chalk. We've seen a lot of chalk as of late. And honestly, we walked out of the first round profitable, betting $100 on all 32 dogs last year. But honestly, weren't that many dogs. Not that many dogs. Like I said, no 2-seed loss, no 1-seed loss. We saw Jack Golke in Oakland. We saw Grand Canyon. We saw Duquesne. And we saw Yale. Danny Wolf in Yale take down Auburn. Those were the 2 big upsets. It was just Yale and Oakland. That was it. It was a pretty fucking chalk bracket last year. Joe said, "What's good, Gav? How are we?" take Yale as an upset? I would love to take Yale as an upset. I would love to see Yale as an upset. But for right now, for the bracket, for the sake of a bracket, we'll roll with Texas A&M and out of the South. I'm going to lock this in right now. I'm going to place this also as a future. BYU to the Final Four. I would be really upset at myself if I didn't tell you guys it wasn't BYU. I believe in this team. They have shooters everywhere. There's Mormon miracles. There's going to be a Mormon dancing in March. There's something in the water. I know I said that. When they need a big shot, they get it. When they need a big three, they find it. They also have a vacuum cleaner in the lane for when those shots don't make it. So when those shots don't go in, they find second chance opportunities on the offensive glass. I love this BYU team. So I would be a fool in a man's shoes to be sitting here tonight on Selection Sunday and not tell you to take BYU to go to the Final Four. You know? It doesn't take a weatherman to tell where the wind is blowing. And right now, there's a storm brewing in BYU. And I've seen a lot of miracles with this BYU team. Taking down Iowa State in Iowa State, one of the toughest places to play in double OT. Then facing them again in a revenge match for the Cyclones in the Big 12 Championship, taking them down. They win 10 straight games to finish out the regular season into the conference tournament. And then they ended up getting dropped off by Houston because they came out flat. That was a perfect place to be. That was a perfect letdown spot. That was a perfect spot for BYU to recuperate, learn from the loss, move forward, move to the tournament. I can't believe we're getting them out of 6th seed. Hold on. Do not pick UC San Diego. Their tallest player is 6'6". Michigan has 2 7-footers. That doesn't worry me. I know the two-man game with Vlad Golden and Danny Wolf for Michigan. Trust me, well aware. But I don't know. UC San Diego is definitely going to be a very, very public dog, which does worry me. That one could be subject to change. It could be subject to change. I just like the thought of a Big Ten conference tournament winner then getting dropped off in the first round. I love the thought of that. Michigan by 30. Michigan losing. Appreciate the follow, Andre and Fritz. Appreciate the follow. And look, fellas, like I said, Duke getting dropped off at some point, I think, is possible. They can only go for so long. Boys, this is incredible. We're almost at 30,000 likes in the TikTok chat. We might as well, this is special stuff. This is Selection Sunday. This is the Selection Sunday that we need. Coming here together late night inside of the lab. We sleep in May. Let's continue to the Midwest. I feel like, so we're going to talk at the end of this, leans, maybe cook up a couple parlays, just first gut reactions for those first 2 days. If you're just joining into the TikTok, we're live on Hold the Phone YouTube. We're going to be doing some giveaways. Some of the bigger underdogs that win in the first round, we're going to be giving away money on the YouTube to subscribers. And we're going live from Vegas Thursday morning and Friday morning on Hold the Phone YouTube. So it's going to be electric. So go over to the YouTube, Hold the Phone. We're live right there on now. I just fucked up that sentence. Live on there right now. Let's get to the Midwest. SIUE to take down Houston. I'm just kidding. Give us the Cougs. I looked at that spread. That was the first spread I wanted to look at. It was 27.5. My fucking trousers almost dropped to the floor. Best of luck to SIUE. That would be special. Getting a lot of fade Houstons in the chat. Do we have a Nerfy incoming for Tuesday morning? Nerfy soldiers reunite. Yes. We will be rocking a simple 6 outs between the Cubs and Dodgers. But neither here or there. All right. Gonzaga over Georgia. We'll take him. Gonzaga has made it to the Sweet 16 8 years in a row. Simply incredible. That's one hell of a fucking stat. And I love this second round matchup. Graham Ike fighting for his life against the Houston Cougars. We could see madness in the air. We're almost at 200 followers from this live stream chat on the TikTok. So if you haven't already, drop a follow. Appreciate each and every single one of you on the other side of this screen as we continue to do. You're gonna want to see the content throughout the rest of this March Madness. That is for sure. You're gonna want to tune in. We got some stuff going on. The two I know it's like they're starting to set us up. There's like this. It's like the script writers of college basketball, and the committee. It's almost like they put these underdogs on a silver platter for us to try to take, like they're fucking with us. Because the fact that McNeese is a 12 seed, like they were last year, one of the most public underdogs in the first round, they lost. And now UC San Diego, which by the time Thursday morning comes around might be a favorite with about, how many people are talking about them and they're on billboards around the country. Now that we're looking at both those teams as a 12 seed, they are going to be two of the most public bet dogs, McNeese and UC San Diego. So it does truly worry me to take them as an underdog in the bracket. It makes me want to take Clemson. It makes me definitely want to take Clemson, but I'm not sure. We saw the run that Clemson went on last year to the Elite Eight. They were on a glory run. Or was it Sweet 16? I forget. I'm pretty sure it was Elite Eight for Clemson last year. I feel like everyone's clicking McNeese. You got the manager. Fellas, drop a comment right now. Who do we have? McNeese or Clemson? Almost at 50,000 likes in the live TikTok. Holy shit. Thank you, fellas. Thank you so much. This is unreal. A lot of Clemsons, dude. Wow. Unexpected amount of Clemsons. I feel like McNeese, everyone's going to be on their knees rolling with this underdog. Hot topic, billboards around the country, McNeese here, McNeese there. A lot of Clemsons. Well, I'm going to continue on because I love this next game, and no one's going to convince me. This is a pick that will not change. Give me High Point over Purdue. I'm done with two teams in this country, Kansas and Purdue. Fucking done with both of them. Done with both of them. MD not losing. Dude, I like the buzzsaw at Grand Canyon. I keep looking at a comment, then it throws me off. Yeah, I do hate Purdue. We took Michigan against Purdue in the Big Ten tournament. They got slapped. And I think that's going to happen again. Michigan has crazy composure in the last 2 to 3 minutes of every game. That is very true. Michigan, with Vlad Golden and Danny Wolf, is a two-man like we've never seen before. But let's continue on. Illinois just got slapped, cheeks clapped by Maryland in the Big Ten. I think Texas or Xavier is a live 11 seed here. So I'm going to roll them over Illinois. I like that. I know Illinois with Boswell, a bunch of other shooters. At the end of the day, Illinois doesn't like to play defense, so if they don't come out hot, why didn't he put anything for Clemson? I was a little worried. St. John's isn't beating Florida. I just want to see that matchup. That's it. That's what I just want to see. That's just, I want to see that. I feel like the Midwest, we're in for some bullshit in the Midwest. We are in for some bullshit in the Midwest. Give me Houston over SIUE. Give me Gonzaga over Georgia. Give me McNeese over Clemson. Give me High Point over Purdue. Fuck Purdue. Give me the winner of Texas and Xavier to take down Illinois. Give me Troy over Kentucky. Give me Utah State over UCLA, and give me Wofford over Tennessee. This is going to be the region gifted by Cinderella herself. This is the region where the slipper better fit every size, every shoe, every foot. Come on. Come on, fellas. You got to believe. Landon said you lost me. Says you're tripping. Holy buns. Troy's not beating Kentucky. Xavier Sweet 16. Troy over Kentucky. Troy, not Troy. Stop talking, bro. Don't do Kentucky. Don't do Kentucky. Wofford getting beat by 30. Troy's not winning, bro. Take every SEC team. This bracket is cooked. Troy over Kentucky is crazy. Troy over Kentucky is crazy. Troy is dead. No way Tennessee no way Tennessee losing. Tennessee by 100. Mike says I'm with it. Mike, that's fucking respect, dude. In a crowd full of people throwing rocks at me, you agree. You agree. Casey said I agree. Come on, dude. Come on. We got to fight. We got to stand strong here. Like it's the last spot on Noah's Ark. You know why? You know why I like this fucking region? Because there's a chance with every one of these teams to be dancing further than all these people expect. This is what March is all about. The unexpected to become expected. The impossible to turn possible. People giving doubt and saying that this region is impossible. I think it's possible. Someone has said something about Gonzaga. Fellas, let's stay strong here. Let's stay strong here. If you're on the other side of that screen, we gotta bend, not break. We gotta bend, not break. Give me the winner of Texas and Xavier to the Sweet 16. Give me High Point over McNeese. And give me Gonzaga to go to their 9th straight Sweet 16. Come on, dude. Come on. Why not us, dude? Why not us? We're trying to set ourselves up for some glory, some magic. We're trying to think outside of the hat here, think outside of the box, because if we stay in the box, we're going to get fucked. That's how you get bent over. That's how you get bent over. I like Gonzaga to take down Houston. And the only reason why I'm taking possibly Wofford to beat Tennessee, dude, I don't know. Is a 2 seed not going to lose? Fellas, look at your bracket right now. I know you guys have your brackets out. Is a 2 seed not going to lose to a 15 seed? The chat just hit 50,000 likes. Keep double tapping the screen. Is a 2 seed not going to lose to a 15 seed? Also, why is everyone so against Troy beating Kentucky? I think that's super possible. Another team out of the SEC who hates to play defense, just like Alabama. If there's a 2 seed to lose, who's it going to be? It's not going to be St. John's. It's not going to be Michigan State and Tom Izzo. It could be Robert Morris over Alabama, or it could be Wofford versus Tennessee. Bryant? Robert Morris is possible. Change to Kentucky. All right. For the sake of the bracket, so no one loses their fucking mind in here. Kentucky, Tennessee, Kentucky, Gonzaga, Tennessee. I like those apples. Huh? Tennessee to the Elite Eight, or this Final Four. You want to see a fucking perfect Final Four? I'll show you a fucking perfect Final Four. Give me BYU out of the East. Give me Tennessee out of the Midwest. Give us St. John's out of the West. And give us Auburn out of the South. You want to see a perfect Final Four? I'll show you a fucking perfect Final Four. And I'll take Auburn. And I'll take Tennessee. A rematch of the SEC SEC semifinal game. I like this. I like this. BYU to the Final Four, 100%. St. John's got Jimmy Fallon cursed. Where's Duke? Duke's right here. I hate Tennessee in the Final Four. I don't know why. So, let me predict some matchups that I just believe are going to come true. Gifted by the college basketball gods. I truly believe that we will get BYU versus Alabama. We will get BYU versus Alabama. Today's Selection Sunday. It is. Write these matchups down. It's 11:45 on Selection Sunday, and these are the matchups that we will be gifted by the college basketball gods. Sweet 16 BYU versus Alabama. That would be a gift. That would be a gift. St. John's versus Florida. The collision course to go to the Final Four. That would be a gift. Gifted by Cinderella herself. Love that matchup. Love, love, love that matchup. Another matchup that we will see that I believe firmly that will come true. In the Sweet 16, another matchup in the Sweet 16, we will get St. John's versus Texas Tech. Someone might die in that game. Someone might die between Texas Tech and St. John's. Another matchup in the Sweet 16 that I see coming true is a very well coached Oregon team against the Duke Blue Devils. I love that matchup in the Sweet 16. Duke versus Oregon. Another Elite Eight matchup that I believe that will come true is BYU versus Duke. BYU versus Duke. I think another Elite Eight matchup that we will be gifted. This would be a gift. This would be a gift. We'll see Tom Izzo and Michigan State go against Iowa State and the Cyclones in the Sweet 16. I love that matchup. And then two of the biggest college basketball coaches in our game today. This would be another incredible, incredible matchup. I think we get the matchup of Tom Izzo versus Bruce Pearl. I love all these matchups. I love all these matchups. I'm calling these matchups right now. I love this Elite Eight. This Elite Eight with Auburn going against Michigan State, BYU going against Duke, Florida going against St. John's, two teams on a collision course ready to go to battle, fight tooth and nail, and then Gonzaga versus Tennessee. I think there's a path there for Gonzaga, a team that's going to 8 straight Sweet 16s. I could see them playing a Cinderella story in High Point. I mean, those 8 teams I will gladly get in bed with to make it to the Elite Eight. Xavier, Texas winning, that's a coin flip. Fremantle with Xavier, Trey Johnson with Texas. Gun to my head, I would say Texas. Gun to my head, I would say Texas. So, fellas, this is gonna take some shifting, some mixing around. But this is what our bracket's looking like right now. This is what our bracket's looking like right now. I love these Elite Eight teams. You got Auburn ending the year struggling, lost their last 3 or 4 games heading into the tournament. They got bounced in the first round last year to Yale. Now you got dogs who are ready to be barking. You got Chad Baker-Mazzario. You still got Janiah Brune. That's going to be a hard man to upset. You got Mr. Pettiford, who's coming off the worst game versus Tennessee of his young career at Auburn versus Tennessee. You got Miles Kelly. Remember Miles Kelly. Remember that name for Auburn. Then meeting Michigan State in the Elite Eight. Those are my Elite Eight teams, fellas. Auburn, Michigan State, St. John's, Florida, Duke, BYU, Gonzaga, and Tennessee. I said before the season, we took Auburn to win the national championship. So we're going to continue to ride that. And then a month and a half ago, we took St. John's at plus 5,000 to win the national championship. So I'm gonna have to figure that out. But fellas, we've been on live for about 2 hours now, and we appreciate each and every single one of you. We're almost at 300 follows here on the TikTok live, so be sure to drop a follow. We're putting $100 on every single underdog of the first round, but I'm leaving you with this. I don't think I'm gonna really change my Elite Eight teams in the first round. I might mix and match up some different cadences here, some different matchups. Might end up switching. I'm going to be looking at this bracket for the next 72 hours. I'm going to rotate around maybe a couple different Sweet 16 matchups, maybe some second round of 32 matchups. But I'm telling you right now that I love Auburn. I love Michigan State. I love St. John's. I love Florida. I love Duke. I love BYU. I'm going to place a BYU Final Four future tonight. And I love Gonzaga and Tennessee. It would be really cool if Gonzaga can take down Houston. So I think we could definitely be dancing. Hey, and at the end of the day, when you're making these brackets and you're in these pools, deeper runs. You don't win your bracket pools in the first round. You know, it's by taking teams that you believe in that will be making deeper runs because you make more points. You get more points as your teams make it deeper in the tournament. Those Sweet 16s, Elite Eights, Final Fours, National Champion. All I'm telling you is, I'll say it one more time before I end the stream. Auburn, our Elite Eight, Auburn, Michigan State, St. John's, Florida, Duke, BYU, Tennessee, Gonzaga. All right, fellas. Appreciate each and every single one of you. Appreciate all the follows. We ripped through this bracket. We'll do another live stream tomorrow night, talking about a little bit of parlay action, talking a little bit more about the bracket, and we're gonna continue to dink and dunk, find try our best to find some winners here. But at the end of the day, fellas, this is the best time of year. Keep asking myself, who has it better than us? It's Selection Sunday. We've waited for this moment. Everything has led up to this moment all season long, and now we have the bracket. And stay tuned to the content to come. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be a good ride. And this time next month, we're gonna be balls deep in MLB season, and it's gonna be the dog days of summer real quick. So with that being said, we'll see you on the other side. Let's take in every moment. Don't be afraid to rock with a couple Cinderella stories, a couple Cinderella teams. And I will say this, we're putting $100 on every single underdog in the first round of March Madness. We were profitable last year. Honestly, wasn't the best year of dogs. This year we're statistically due. A 2 seed has to get upset. And It could be Wofford. It could be Robert Morris. Someone, a 2-seed has to get dropped off. And we're doing our Hold the Phone live show Thursday morning, Friday morning here on the YouTube. So go drop a sub. And whatever underdogs that win, we're going to be giving away money to the subscribers. We're going to be giving away money to subscribers after the first round of however many dogs that can come home. So go over to the YouTube, drop a sub. We're going live from Vegas Thursday morning, Friday morning for every bet you want to know, every bet you need to know. We're going to be crafting parlays. We're going to be crafting everything in between. It's going to be an absolute buzzing. Boys will be buzzing. Fellas, see you on the other side. Appreciate each and every single one of you. Stay tuned for the rest of the content. And go fill out a bracket. We're going to have a hell of a March. Holy hell. I think I'm still live on the YouTube. Oops. Fellas, over on the YouTube. It was a hell of a stream. I'm beat. Need to go eat dinner. Gonna go live again tomorrow night. So